Hello, my name is Alexa. Welcome to the Amazon Alexa podcast. Skill programming, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, the future of voice recognition technology. Let's begin.
This is the Alexa Dev Chat Podcast, Episode 4, Learning Through Experience with Alexa Hackathons. Hello and welcome everyone. I am your host, Dave Isbitsky. I am joined today with Paul Cutzinger. Paul and I have worked together for a couple of years. We've been on different products at Amazon, and I couldn't be more delighted to introduce Paul now as the master of all things Alexa Hackathon.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, it's good times. It's all about helping people build stuff.
Exactly. And you and I, we're evangelists, but we're also developers, and we like to tinker. And you and I both, we learned how to do stuff with Alexa by just playing with the code and figuring out. And I love hackathons. I think that's what hackathons is all about. It's a chance to kick the tires. It's a chance to make a ton of mistakes and then turn to the person next to you and be like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you did a lot of these hands-on things from the beginning.
Yeah, so we, before we had this official Alexa Hackathon team, we did Amazon Developer Days. And in fact, I think the Developer Days are still going on in the App Store side for mobile devs, if anybody's interested. We kind of started off in the early Echo days. I remember you and I were down in Washington, D.C. with MoDev.
Yep, Pete.
Shout out to Pete and crew down there. And we were doing talks about Echo. At the time, it was just one device, right? There wasn't any kind of ecosystem or anything like that. And we just got an SDK. And then we did a road show. And you and I, we did, I know the roadshow was in L.A., we did New York, we did Lofts.
San Francisco, yeah.
San Francisco, that's right.
I did a London one too, actually.
Yeah, I did London and Berlin, and that was really interesting, was being in London and Berlin, and people had Echoes. Developers just love using this stuff, and then carrying around our power adapters trying to get through security with all our devices. So now that we have this official Alexa Hackathon team, why don't you talk a little bit about what you guys do, how big is your team, how developers can get involved, is there a place where they can find out how these hackathons are going on? If they're a student, can they do hackathons at on campus? Just give us some background on your team.
Sounds good. So we're all over the place. We're doing all sorts of different kinds of events. We've got the smaller, shorter 2 to 4 hour to 6 hour boot camp style events, and those are where you just go to learn something, get something built really quickly. Another one is the 24, 36 hour, maybe week long, month long kind of competition style event where people are come up with really, really outrageous kind of crazy things. It's amazing what they do there. And we sort of push into those two extremes. Some are about competitions, right? Ooh, how can I form a team and make something really great and just outshine everybody else? And then the others are about, I really want to understand how this works so I can brainstorm and deeply think about what I want to go build, right? And what I want to go make for my company or for myself, quite frankly. So we've got a team of solutions architects. They're super technical, love to teach, love to get in there and help you mix it up. They'll help you get through building your first skill, and they'll help you brainstorm best practices and really take it to the next level. And we're all over the place. Finding us is actually kind of a challenge in some ways. I mean, it's easy to find us if you go to a hackathon because we're probably there.
Right.
But it's kind of hard to figure out where all the hackathons are. They just keep coming up. So like we just added, in the last week we've probably added 3 hackathons between August and September. We're just adding them really quick. A couple ways you can find them. One is if you're a college student, any campus that has Major League Hacking as part of the infrastructure of those events is going to have Alexa there because they have a hardware lab and Alexa's in the hardware lab. So you can check out stuff and use it from there. And the mentors there are really smart and they can help you out. And we go to a lot of those events directly, so we can help. if you're into the maker scene and that whole side of things, look for Hackster.io. And there's ambassadors all across the country that are doing, meetups on every technology you can imagine, Raspberry Pis and Edisons and everything, and Alexa. And so you can get there and build things with Alexa or combine them together with these other technologies, which is really cool. Voice enable anything, really. And then, of course, the other way you can find us is on our blog post. So developer.amazon.com/blog, and we'll talk about things like Angel Hacks is an example of a series of hackathons we were at. And you can learn about those and see how to get involved.
Right. And I know one of the interesting things you talked a little bit about just how often these hackathons are getting added coming from the mobile app store. It took me by surprise, too. I know you felt very similar, where we were seeing Alexa pop up in almost everything. Like there was IoT, there was smart home, there are gaming startups that were using this. It's just the fact that it can run on any platform.
Yep.
It's free, and you can use any language that you're used to has really changed, I think, how people approach this at hackathons. And I wanted to ask you, based on that, what kind of cool things? I mean, you go to these things all over the place. I imagine you have seen Alexa combined with stuff that you haven't even, we as a team haven't even thought about yet, that people are creating.
Yeah, they're always, it's exciting and a challenge all the time. And you're right. I try to do as a wide a variety of these kinds of events as possible. Like, for example, we're talking to the restaurant industry. Like, they called us. Like, hey,
that's awesome.
Let's do something in restaurants. Like, okay. We've done stuff with credit unions, and we've done all over the map. So I'll tell you a couple different ones that were kind of interesting. And I particularly like the ones where they combine a variety of technologies together, because that's kind of the point, is it's a voice UI on top of whatever experience you want. So the winner of South by Southwest Hackathon was one where you would come home and you would start talking to Alexa, and you would tell it your mood. You would say a phrase, and it would discern your mood from your phrase using sentiment analysis. And
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then it would play music based on your sentiment analysis to sort of match what was going on, which I thought was really cool. I saw one at Michigan State University where they duct taped webcams to the ceiling, and they hooked them up to a Raspberry Pi, and they used Clarify API for vision recognition. And you would say, Alexa, where are my keys? And it would have the webcam that was aimed at your kitchen counter.
You talking about this,
Yeah, they'd be like, your kitchen keys are on the counter. And then they'd say, Alexa, where's my laptop? And it goes, well, last time I saw your laptop, it was on the coffee room table. But that was at 10 a.m. I haven't seen it since then. There's something blue there now. And if you pick up your coat, there's your laptop underneath.
Right.
And they built this in 36 hours. At the same event, they had somebody do a mixology device.
Yep.
4 different kinds of alcohols, and then you would say what you wanted to drink. It would mix the proper amounts in each one using IoT plus the thing. There was another one I saw that I thought was really cool where they were in VR and they were playing soccer. Their main thing was they wanted to play a soccer game.
Right.
But one of the guys on the team is didn't have enough work to do. They all had their jobs or whatever. So he's like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a Jumbotron into the arena where you're playing soccer in this 3D world. And on the Jumbotron, I'm going to ask Alexa which League of Legends game is playing right now. And it would broadcast the live League of Legends tournament onto the Jumbotron in the VR world playing soccer.
No, that's awesome.
And this is the cool thing about that is in VR, you don't want to grab a mouse and go to a menu and select something, right? So anything where there's a menu in VR, it's a very natural fit for voice, right? If you want to, like Harry Potter, there was another one. It was here in Seattle. There was a VR hackathon, and you had a wand. You wave the wand around. You say Expelliarmus, and then lightning would fly out of the wand, right? Or you want to say teleport. You want to teleport to another place. Just say teleport, right? You don't.
Yep.
And spend your other UI controls and affordances on the experience, the game, or the whatever it might be. So those were cool. I've seen people control drones. I've seen.
Wasn't that in Boston? There was something with a robot or a drone up at one of the Boston hackathons. I remember you telling me about that. There was a video out there of people controlling it. Yeah.
So in that one, it was really kind of cool. What they did, they had a little tiny drone. I can't remember the brand of it, but the brand of this drone has no API. So when you have an API, it